So Messi holds a record for the most goals in a calendar year. We're going to try break it with Erling Haaland. And since Pep Guardiola won't play Erling Haaland, we're going to try to do it by putting Erling Haaland in the worst league in the world. Unfortunately, in leagues in FIFA, that's the league of my home country. So I decided to put him on Bose mainly because I knew James Talbot growing up and I went to college with Rory Feely, who now plays for Barrow, but he's still on Bose in this roster. So we're going to see, can he break Messi's record?
First things first, we have to buy an apartment, and $250,000 for an apartment in Phibsborough, it's about right. So game 1 of the year, Bose against Finn Harps, and a very iffy start for Haaland, but he does go and get his first goal and his second one in this game, followed by a great chip to start off game number 2, a volley in the box, and he scores his first hat-trick in the second game of this season. And after not getting his chance in the 27th minute, he's just not on the pitch for some reason. I don't know what the hell happened there, but apparently got sent off in the 17th minute. But looking at this message, it says the manager can't even count on Haaland as a member of the squad. He's not even dropped from the starting lineup. He might be fully dropped from the squad.
So this man, Keith Long, will be the enemy. You know the way we're saying that, like, Guardiola's keeping Haaland from breaking records now? Oh, trust me. Trust me, whatever Guardiola's doing with Haaland right now is nothing compared to what Keith Long, the villain of this video, is going to do.
And in his first game back from suspension, he did start, but things were looking very shaky with missed chance after missed chance. In the 54th minute, he turns the defender and puts Bose 1-0 up, and in the last second of the game, goes and scores the winner. But the next game, the Bose versus Rovers derby.
And this isn't just a normal rivalry. This rivalry is heated. This is going to be a heated derby, and Haaland needs to step up.
And Haaland is treating Shamrock Rovers like their RB Leipzig with 5 goals in the first 70 minutes of the game and penecking a penalty to end up with his 7th goal. However, in the next game, he gets another chance of penalty, which he blasts over the bar, and Bose end up losing. Gets a penalty against St. Pat's, and he penecas this one straight in. He gets, obviously, I don't know what the hell happened with that glitch, but another chance at a penalty straight at the keeper. So that is 2 losses for Bose right there, which he bounces back with a first half hat-trick. And a 4th just after halftime. So a pretty good game right there. And then another game against Pats where he has to make up for his missed penalty by missing another one. And you better believe he made up for that. 6 goals in the first half against Drogheda and ending up with 9. I repeat, 9 goals.
So after scoring 9 goals, what do you think happens? Do you think he's made captain? Do you think he gets an apology from Keith Long for basically saying he wasn't in his plans earlier in the year? Or do you think he gets dropped to the bench? Well, clearly Erling Haaland is being given credit for winning the league, which Keith Long wants, so he's on the bench.
So Haaland is now coming off the bench in the Airtricity League of Ireland. Yeah, that even sounds crazy to say. And playing cam, not even playing striker, but it doesn't matter. He makes a great run to win the derby with only his goal. So you'd be thinking maybe he'd get back in. I decided not to throw the boss under the bus, and no, at least he's subbing on a striker where he's able to score not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 goals in the last 25 minutes of the game. But even after scoring 6 goals off the bench, it doesn't matter. Keith Long still with his power trip not starting him. Well, if he's not going to be starting anyway, he might as well just go on a holiday in the middle of the season. In the next game against my local team, Shelburne, he does only get the 1, but at least it's 1 off the bench. And Haaland is rewarded for that with no longer being a striker, but it doesn't matter. 0-0, Haaland is the guy, obviously, who's going to go and score the winner. He doesn't even need to play striker. Keith Long can try holding back however he can. It doesn't matter, Haaland scoring. He then chips in with 4 goals off the bench against UCD, including this incredible scissors kick, followed by only 1 in a game against Finn Harps, which is not the greatest, but he bounces back from that with a solid 5-goal display against Derry City. And even though he did just score 5 goals off the bench, the manager does not look happy, and of course he doesn't, it's Keith Long.
So after a 5-goal showing coming off the bench, does he get a spot back in the starting lineup? Of course he doesn't. Of course he doesn't. This is Keith Long's town, and he gets dropped even further onto the bench. Maybe even into the reserves.
Thankfully, it seems he came to his senses and decided to put him on for the last 9 minutes of a game against Finn Harps, where he gets 1, 2, and yeah, a good run towards the end to get his 3rd goal. And 4 goals. Yes, 4 goals off the bench in a game where he was meant to have been dropped to the reserves.
So 4 goals in 9 minutes. Keith Long needed to put him on to win the game. Surely this is where things change. Haaland gets put on the transfer list. Not only does he want Haaland out of the team, he wants him out of the club.
So after being put on the transfer list, he's getting less and less minutes in each game. A very, very lucky break to go and put them an extra goal up against Dundalk, and he does go and get his second goal. So he's not giving up, and he's going on to podcasts. Going on the podcast to say he's pissed. Even though he has 40 goals more than second, he's still transfer listed, and at this stage, you just got to talk to the old podcasts. 83rd minute, 0-0. Oh, of course, it's Erling Haaland scoring the 1 goal in a winner against Derry. Of course it is, what else is going to happen? The only person that can see he's the best player in the league is Keith freaking Long. So he got 2 goals in a win against UCD, however didn't score against Sligo Rovers. And yeah, I'm gonna gossip about the manager. Keith Long's gotta go. He's gotta go. No reason Haaland would be quiet if he's not getting on at Bows. And it's Bows versus Rovers, it's the derby, and he decides in protest to blast a penalty over the bar. And they lose the derby to Shamrock Rovers. And right now, he's been dropped from the squad. He's not even on the bench after that penalty miss. The next game, they do decide to put him on late, where he in fact does go and score a penalty to get his 61st goal of the season. It's looking like this could be his last game before the deadline, so we just blast the ball out of play, assuming he's going to get the transfer away. With 1 hour in the window to go, it's not looking good. It is really not looking good for Erling Haaland. And he has not been transferred. He didn't even get nominated for Player of the Month there for Bows. However, at least he has a chance to play for Norway, play for his country, where he scores 1 against the Italians and make that 2. However, a 2-0 lead quickly becomes a 3-2 loss, and he does score 1 against England, but they lose 5-1. Not the most successful international break, but at least he's back in the starting 11. At least he's back in the starting 11. And you know what he does when he makes the starting 11 again? He scores his first hat-trick to get 67 goals on the year. However, another penalty against Shelburne, straight at the goalkeeper. Doesn't get too many chances, but he does get an assist in a loss, which is unfortunate. He bounces back with a hat-trick against Dundalk, and honestly, he's scoring a little bit more. He is scoring very, very handily right here. However, obviously, against St. Pat's, he's going to have to miss 2 penalties because that's 4 penalties missed against Pats. He does go and win the game, and Ipanek is it. As long as it's against Pats, he can score. But he is scoring for fun at this stage. However, now, with 2 games to go in the year, he's on 88 goals. And make that a hat-trick. He's tied Messi with 1 game to go. So in the cup final, the last game of the calendar year, he misses the penalty to break the record. However, smacks it in the top corner in the 22nd minute. That is the goal. That is the record. He then goes and scores a couple more to end the year on 94 goals.
And there we have it, breaking the record and winning the cup. Was it difficult to do in that league? Not particularly. However, if it wasn't for Keith Long, he could have broken the unofficial record of Pelé with 125 goals. A pretty good ending to a weird year for Erling Haaland.